So last week I mentioned that I wanted to dress up each day for Zoom school. So for the first 2 days, my friend picked my outfits. And on Monday, she was like, for Monday, straighten your hair. And I was like, well, that's going to take a while. So I had to get up like 6 in the morning to straighten my hair. And oh my god, I was so embarrassed by myself because I like haven't dressed up in so long, and especially for school. But yeah.
The outfit of Monday.
I was kind of nervous to go into my first class because I was really hoping like no one would notice. Oh, thank God no one did. And now that like school is over and I'm technically home, I'm gonna change out and wash all the makeup off. And you know, like I got home and now I'm like in my home outfit. Another thing that happened is that like I was put into breakout rooms with people, and breakout rooms like the Zoom squares are bigger, so people like definitely saw my makeup. No one said anything though. That's good. If someone said something, I would have loved the class. Sorry guys, I'm out for today. Anyway, I'm exhausted. That was exhausting school today. I'm gonna go do homework now. On Tuesday, I wore the second outfit my friend chose for me. I also accidentally overslept on Tuesday and woke up like 3 minutes before my classes started.
Tuesday's outfit.
Because I woke up so late, I had like no time to do my hair, and my art teacher kind of made fun of me because like a part of my failed bang was like sticking up during the whole class. For lunch on Tuesday, I had like an all veggie lunch, and I made myself some Brussels sprouts with sesame seeds and soy sauce and grilled pineapple, and made myself a salad. And it was probably the most elaborate and fancy lunch I've had in like years at this point. The rest of the look was just a braid, and my friend told me to do pink eyeshadow, so I just... Oh my god, I've had hiccups for the last 20 minutes. As I wore these jeans today, I realized that they don't look good as jeans, so I decided to cut them and try them as shorts. They're definitely, when I first, this was like a buy that was kind of like, I thought it was like too cheap to be actually true. It was correct because definitely not how they were on the picture. And the waist was like way too big for me, so I actually like added a elastic, even though it's like crooked. I took it out from my uniform skirt, put it into here. So kind of nice. But yeah, the pant legs are just way too wide for me, and they don't work. So I'm gonna try and cut them, and we'll see how that works.
For cutting my jeans, I kind of like made up the process as I went. I just traced so that I had a straight line to cut, and then I cut them, and then I also ended up fraying the bottom, but you actually don't see that in the picture because I ended up doing it after I took the picture, but just, yeah. The final look.
Ow. I'm gonna do a little talk from my bed because, so today I had a math test. And then I kind of had like, how do I call this? A moment of water coming out of my eyes for like a solid 30 minutes because I realized I didn't do well, and I was really disappointed in myself, even though like it wasn't like a thing. I didn't feel guilty. No, I did feel guilty. No, it wasn't that. It was like I felt bad because I
I don't know, I was really disappointed in myself. And yeah, my mood kind of crashed for the rest of the day. So that's why there's like no outfit today, because I had one on and then the math test, I had it as my second class. And I was like, yeah, no, I'm doing this. I also overslept today. Like, I woke up 3 minutes before jazz ensemble. So I'm gonna go make myself a cake now, because I need to lift my mood. Because, yeah. So, I made a apple crumble, and I'm just kind of gonna take you through the steps, because it's like super easy to make, and I feel like it's really yummy, and I think you don't really need skill to do it. Also, the thing is, I've been doing this cake for not cake, it's like half pie, for so long that I don't really remember the exact ingredients, so I'm just gonna kind of explain it, but it's more about like, to your taste, if you like it more sweet, if you like it with more apples, etc., etc. So as you can see, first I cut up apples, because this is an apple crumble, so you're obviously going to need apples. You just kind of want to dice them or chop them or whatever you want to call it, and then you just put it straight into the pan or what you're going to bake it in. I also recommend dicing them kind of small so that it's not awkward to eat. They are going to get soft, so it doesn't really matter. Next, you just add cinnamon, depending on how much. If you don't want to add it, then don't add it, but it does add a bit of a flavor, and I don't know, I think it's better with cinnamon. You can also add like crumbled or, like broken nuts, but I don't have any, and I don't like to do that, so it's usually almonds. So basically how a crumble works is that the dough is actually on top, not on the bottom. So it's like kind of like a crust, but it's not a crust. And the dough is also like very much like sand, not like, I mean texture-wise. So I took 12 ounces of unsalted butter and I just chopped it up. You want to make sure it's cold, because the technique to make this, it only works if the butter is cold. After chopping the butter, you just put in some sugar and flour. I don't exactly remember how much I put in, and then you do add depending on what you need. If you like it more sweet, add more sugar than flour. If you don't like it sweet, add more flour. It's kind of self-explanatory. So how you want to do this is you want to break up the big chunks of cold butter into small little chunks, and they're going to stay separated because of the coldness and because of the sugar and the flour. So you just kind of have to use your fingers to break it apart, and it does sometimes take a while, but make sure to not take too long, or else the butter will start to melt and then it'll just become this really big, one big ball. I definitely could have broken it up more, but this is basically what it looks like. And because we already have the apples in the pan that we're gonna bake it in, you just pour the sand dough on top. I have no idea what the actual name for the dough is, but I'm just gonna call it sand dough because it does kind of resemble sand and like crumble, I guess it crumbles. Make sure to spread it out so like that most of the apples are covered. If you didn't make enough dough, for example, then you can just, make a smaller portion. I know this wasn't a super specific recipe, but I really do hope you enjoy it. I pinned myself on Zoom because I didn't want to look at anybody else, and also I look like a little schoolboy. Spartans, assemble! I finally decided to work out after like 2 months. I'm going to talk more about working out later on I believe, Sunday. On Friday, I stole a dress for my mom, and I wore it, and then I took some pretty pictures. I watched the Map of the Soul 1 online concert, and oh my god! Even though I only had 3 hours of sleep, but oh god, I cried from the concert. Like, I've never cried so early in the morning because it was like 5 and I was like crying. And also, I was at my aunt's house watching it, and you know how like the light stick of BTS is like that army, it's the army bomb. I didn't have one. So my aunt, we found this little toy that my cousin has, and we used that. I couldn't stop laughing because it looks exactly like the army bomb. Considering that I only had 3 hours of sleep, I still managed to like get through the day okay-ish, I guess. Like I only fell asleep like in the evening while I was watching TV, but I even had the energy to start a new artwork, and even though I didn't finish, I recorded some of it, but I didn't finish all of it because I did get tired from drawing because I don't have a good patience. So I already gave a backstory as to why I was crying, but now I'm just gonna kind of reflect on that, I guess. I definitely think I like overreacted, and you know, I feel like that was my fault on my part, but I don't know, I haven't figured out a way for me like to control my feelings towards math. For some reason, like the math is that one subject that like stresses me out completely. Like if I get a bad grade on another subject, like I still stress out and everything, but I just, for some reason, it's not as bad as math. Like math drives me insane. I don't know, I guess it's because it's always kind of was tough for me, but like I think it was always like so much frustration has built up because of math, so I guess I always overreact because of it. I haven't figured out a way to make math easier for me. Like, it doesn't matter if I study a lot. Like, I could spend hours and hours of actually good studying. And, you know, I could do all the worksheets in the world, which I know is, like, I'm just trying to give the example. And I would still be stressing out over it because I still wouldn't be confident in myself. Maybe it's just a confidence thing. I feel like I've failed math so many times that it's like a confidence thing for me. I don't know how to fix it. It's tough things. Now I just want to kind of reflect on how I've been doing with the school year starting almost 2 months ago now, something like that. Yeah, it's October 12th, so it's somewhere around a little bit less than 2 months. Definitely I've had to adjust because of online school, and I mean, it's a totally different environment, and it's like my first year of high school, so like I've had to completely like change my school routine because to adapt to the new environment and to the new requirements. So on the procrastination scene, I think I've definitely been procrastinating way less than last year. I do push some things to the end. For example, editing. I think editing's been like the biggest kind of problem for me. I always push it to Sunday I strive to upload on Sundays. Not the case for this video. Here I am sitting editing on a Monday after Sunday. But I definitely am struggling on that front, but like on the school front, I've definitely stopped procrastinating more. I mean, of course, I always sometimes have to like do some last minute studying before or crank something out, but it's much less, and it's not because like I'm consciously procrastinating, it's mostly because I just don't have time, so I'm just like making my priorities straight. There's also the fact of my attention span during Zoom school itself, like school hours, like 8 to 3, have definitely like reduced. I definitely don't pay attention as much as I want to, and sometimes I have to teach myself because I just like zone out during class and I miss something. And I don't know how, I haven't figured out a way to specifically fix that yet, other than that if I miss something, I have to end up teaching myself or watching review. My school said that they're not going to be recording Zoom classes, which I'm honestly kind of not about, because like honestly I feel like it could have helped me so much. I think the biggest challenge I pose with zoning out is physics and French. If you zone out in French, you get so lost in languages. And I think physics for me is like going way too fast, So like if I zone out for like 10 seconds, okay, that's like hyperbole. If I zone out for some time, or like I'm click off, my brain clicks off, I'm like so lost because my teacher's already like on a totally different topic, and I'm like, oh my god, and then I'm scared that he's gonna call on me, and I'm like, wait, but I honestly have like no idea what you just said. I think the only way for me to pay attention more in class is to actually take better breaks between my classes. I only have like 10 minutes usually between my 80-minute classes, which kind of sucks, but I mean, gotta take what they give me, and you know, maybe like get a drink, get some type of water. Drinking cold drinks really like wakes me up, and most of the time it's not that like I'm not paying attention or I'm distracted on something else. It's just that I literally like zone out because I'm just exhausted to listening to Zoom. Other than that, everything's great. I mean, okay, great in quotation marks because it's not great necessarily. That I definitely wish this wasn't happening. The world wasn't in this state, but I mean, what can we do? But I'm doing my best, striving through, pushing forward, really hoping this ends by next year. I really hope we have a normal school year at least next year, because I mean, high school I'm missing out on so much because I'm stuck at home, but I can't really do nothing about it. Anyway, that's it for the talk. I had a genius idea of putting chocolate into my croissant and then heating up. And I think I'm a genius. I invented new ways to make chocolate croissants. So the thing I wanted to say about working out, I think the biggest challenge for me to work out is consistency, because I can work out like one day and I'll be like fine, but like doing it every day, like no. And I also don't have the time, and I also like don't want to waste the time, take the time to do it. So I wanted to say that I found this new YouTube channel, and Elizabeth Chu, I'll link her channel in the description, and her workouts, they're semi-quick, like 10-minute workouts, but they're like tough workouts. Not like extremely tough that like you're dying by, okay, no, if you like, some of them are that you're like dying by the end, but it's definitely very efficient, and I'm literally obsessed because I'm like, oh my god, now I don't have to waste time and I can just work out for like 20 or 30 minutes and then I'll be done. Because usually I like an hour, and I was like, I hate this. I actually also decided to work out outside, which honestly was like amazing. The weather was really nice and it was really pretty, and I felt like I don't know, I felt like a different person. It was definitely not something I usually do, but yeah, 10 out of 10 would recommend. So my mom got a bunch of clothes, but my mom's out of town, so she's like, why don't you do a fashion show and send me a video? And I was like, why don't I? And then she was like, actually, why don't you just put it in your YouTube video? So Mom, this is for you. I mean, it's definitely like a bit too long for me, but you're like this much taller than me, Mom, so this could probably work for you. It is like very pretty. There is like this big cut in the middle, but I'm wearing a sports bra, so I don't expose myself. The sleeves, very comfortable, you can adjust. Also, you definitely have to tie the belt really tight, because if you don't tie it, then it's like humongous. Like, it even goes down lower. It's definitely like tie. Maybe a belt would look amazing with this. I look like a really rich lady from like, I don't know, like a really rich TV show, like Princess Diaries, or what was that? Dynasty? Ooh, definitely Dynasty feelings. I mean, again, considering your height's probably like this for you, which actually is a better length because like this length is kind of awkward. Sleeves very comfortable. It's probably also more body fitting, but I don't have the expertise to button up all the buttons in the back by myself.
So sorry, Mom. But like, I love it. Very, very fresh, very professional. Also, this like necklace, I feel like you could style in more ways. It is kind of like a bit scary to put on. Like I had a mini heart attack because I was like, oh my god. But very pretty. The sleeves, elegant.
Also, I wanted to say, like, where is all this confidence coming from? Like, I think it's the clothes, Mom. Thank you for giving these clothes to me because they just gave me so much confidence. I haven't had this confidence in a while. The blouse, very comfortable, very chic. I love it. 10 out of 10. This sweatshirt was definitely more of a casual look compared to the other outfits. I don't know what's going on with my clothing, but we're just going to go with it. The zipper was very comfortable. I was worried that it was going to be like an itchy zipper, but it wasn't. Very nice. I'm trying to show the collar. Very cool, very cool. Also, the back was like much longer than the front, so I'm just trying to show that, but it was kind of hard because of the angle. The sleeves on this cardigan were immaculate. I loved them. I put the cardigan over the blue shirt, and I just realized as I'm looking at this now, you can't really distinguish between the two, but it was very nice and very pretty. The sunglasses are definitely humongous on me, Mom, and I think they're also going to be big on you, but I know you'll like those type of glasses, so I guess it's okay. I did look a bit like a fly in them. The mask, I don't know. I mean, it's a mask. I didn't try sleeping in it, so I guess, I mean, you can sleep in anything, so this should be fine for you. So, in closing statements, I think I had a pretty good week. I got a lot of stuff done, and, you know, my mood was pretty much okay for the whole thing, except for that one Wednesday incident. But I'm just wishing you a good week, and make someone smile today.